this is your first time traveling solo or just traveling in general, Thailand is one of the best countries you could choose to travel to for you to test out the waters. And if you've been following my journey since day one, you'd know that this is where I took my very first solo backpacking trip. If you're not following me yet, hit that subscribe button, follow me on any of the socials linked in the description box down below, and like this video before we get going on this travel guide. Thailand is a country that welcomes tourists with open arms. Though it might be slightly overrun, it is still a vibrant and amazing country to travel to. I've been to Thailand 4 or 5 times now, I think. I don't know, I've lost count at this point. But I find myself going back to this country over and over again because of its beauty. It's also fairly inexpensive to fly into Bangkok since it's one of the major hubs for flights, and I mean, it's Thailand, so why not? Thailand is known for its stunning islands down south, amazing landscape up north, beautiful temples, spectacular viewpoints, elephant sanctuaries, plenty of entertainment from fire shows to ladyboys, and activities for just about everyone. Before entering Thailand, ensure that your passport is valid for the next 6 months from the date of your entry into the country. A 30-day tourist visa on arrival is available, which will cost you 2,000 Thai baht or roughly around $60 or 71 Canadian dollars. If you end up staying in the country beyond the expiration date of your visa, the overstay penalty will set you back $15 per day. If you stay for 40 or more days beyond the expiration date, it's $580. So make a note, extend or do a visa run, and do not overstay. Visa extensions are available, so that's the next best option for you if you want to stay in the country longer. For 30 days, it's 1,900 Thai baht or roughly around $52 or 68 Canadian dollars. Thai baht is the currency used in the country, and ATMs are practically everywhere, even on the majority of the islands. Debit and credit cards are accepted in most places like hotels, hostels, and restaurants. The Thai baht have notes and coins, and as with any other types of currency that have both, get rid of your coins as quickly as possible to decrease the weight in your pocket. This will also ensure that you are squeezing your budget to the last coin. Tuk-tuks are everywhere. They're convenient for getting from one place to another in the city or town. Be sure to bargain and always agree on a price before actually getting in, and don't pay until you get to your destination. Scooters are also available for rent, and they are very inexpensive in Thailand. This is definitely my preferred transportation getting around town. Many will ask for your passport in exchange for the scooter, so make sure you drive safe, and if you don't feel comfortable riding a scooter, I highly suggest picking another means of getting around. Of course, depending on how far your destination is or where you're trying to get to within cycling distance, then this could be the most effective means of transportation. This is the most common way to get around from one city to the other, and you need to get a ticket to get on one of these. You could get your tickets through travel agencies or vendors out in the streets. They sell them everywhere. In fact, they will most likely sell them at the hostel or hotel you're staying in, so it's very easy to buy them. It's safe, it's inexpensive, and it's super easy to use when getting around the country. Pad Thai is a staple piece whether you're having them in a fancy restaurant or a street food. They are just simply delicious. Fruit shakes is just a must on a daily. They're nutritious and just pure goodness. For any vegans or vegetarians, you have plenty of options here in the country, and there's also a growing amount of vegan-friendly restaurants in the country, especially in the major cities. Now, I'm not gonna list all of the things to do in this country just because then this video would end up going on for hours. I will, however, mention my recommendations and the most common things to do in the country. I'm going to start off north, then down south to the islands. Chiang Mai is just a beautiful gem in the country, a tourist favorite up north with plenty of things to do. There's Grand Canyon, where you may take a stroll around the canyon, then take a dip in the water to cool off. Now, there are plenty of elephant sanctuaries in Thailand, but be sure to support the ones that don't let you ride the elephants or where companies are doing unethical things to these beautiful creatures. Do spend a bit of time on research to see if the company you're going to do this with is reputable. But like I said, there are plenty of elephant sanctuaries in the country, but Chiang Mai is the best place to visit an elephant sanctuary if you're looking to do just that. Depending on when you're in Thailand, join in on one of the biggest celebrations of the year, Songkran. This is a multiple day water festival to celebrate the New Year's for the Thai people. It takes place mid-April, and if you have the choice of when to be in the country, I highly recommend being here for it. When I was there, it was about for 3 days, and it was one of the best experiences of my travels, hands down, even to this day. Once you're done in Chiang Mai, you're going to continue heading up north to Pai. You need to rent a scooter to enjoy the 600-kilometer ride from Chiang Mai to Pai. Pai. The route itself takes about 3 days or longer depending on how many stops you choose to do. This winding road takes you to beautiful sceneries and authentic villages that also has 1,864 turns, so slow down and ride safe. If you're not comfortable on a scooter, then you may also take the bus to do the loop. One way or another, it is sure to be one amazing adventure. Now that you're in Pai, you may hit up Pai Canyon to take a stroll around the beautiful canyon and soak in the views. Pai itself is just beautiful, so it'll keep you occupied for the next couple of days or for however long you decide to stay here. There's two main temples to see here, the White Temple and the Blue Temple, and I suggest trying to get to these temples as early as you can because it gets really crowded. The White Temple is definitely a one-of-a-kind temple. I couldn't take my camera inside as they don't allow you to film, but basically there's a lot of cartoon and movie characters drawn inside the temple. Like I said, it's one of a kind. The Blue Temple is another beautiful temple in Chiang Rai, and it's just about 15 to 20 minutes away from the White Temple. I suggest doing both of these temples on the same day just because they're very close to one another. Now before we head down south, let's talk about Bangkok. This is where you'll most likely kick off your trip in Thailand as the international airport is here. Though it's the main gateway for the rest of the world, there's still things to do here. There's Wat Arun, Khao San Road for the night owls, and for any shopping needs before you start your adventure in case you miss packing that one thing, I suggest going to MBK, a mall with practically anything and everything, and it's fairly inexpensive. Now let's talk about the islands down south. As vague as this may sound, the most common things to do here is to go island hopping, snorkeling, diving, and to simply just lay by the water to get a tan. The nightlife is also more vibrant down here, and there's just a ton of islands to explore. Aside from being a beautiful island, many aspiring divers go here as it's one of the most inexpensive places to obtain a PADI license in the world. Now if diving is not your thing, there's also a ton of things for you to check out. There's Nang Yuan Island where you could spend a day, and for spectacular viewpoints, check out John Suan Mountain Viewpoint and Mango Viewpoint. I highly suggest coming up here for sunrise because you'll most likely have the spot all to yourself. In general, southern Thailand is just overcrowded with tourists, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Phuket just seems to be slightly more overcrowded than the rest of them. Phuket also has an airport, so you may actually fly into here directly. From here, it's a good base to visit Phang Na Bay, where the famous James Bond Island is, and the gorgeous Phi Phi Islands. I highly suggest doing island hopping tours when you are in Phuket to visit these islands. I'll be real with you, I wasn't a fan of this island as much. Many people come here just to go to the parties, and the main one being the full moon party. Go see it for yourself, but I don't think you're missing out on much if you decide to skip the island. In fact, I recommend it, but that's all up to you. Other noteworthy islands to mention though are Krabi, Koh Samui, and Koh Lipe. These islands tend to be more laid back compared to the islands I just previously mentioned. Thailand is unique in a sense that it really does have something for everyone. If you're a backpacker on a budget, a first-time solo traveler, a vacationer looking to get away for a week, a honeymooner looking to go somewhere romantic, a family looking for comfort, or if you're a flashbacker, a traveler who can splurge, this country can be all of that and more, whatever it is you're looking for. And yes, I may actually end up here at some point once again, and I wouldn't be surprised. Well, that's it for today's video, but before I let you go, if you found this video helpful, click on that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more travel videos like these. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.